because YouTube black creators are coming in to get their algorithm pushed.
And I'm taking this video extremely seriously. YouTube, you guys either play favorites, you are racist, or it's a mix of the two. These are the three options, YouTube. Which one is it?
What's going on, y'all? Ground to Motivate back in this thing again, man, with another video. And I've been wondering the exact same thing. Although I have a much smaller channel than him, obviously, I've still noticed some of the same problems. And I've also seen a few other content creators that obviously have my skin tone going through these issues as well. And you can see down in the comment, it says this video was immediately flagged for ad suitability, which is basically a yellow mark. And if you guys have heard me talk about yellow marks, that's essentially what that is. They're not going to run ads across your video, and your video is pretty much not going to get pushed. You're not going to get paid for it. And no matter what video I put out, I could talk about Care Bears, I could talk about Teletubbies, and they'll still give me a yellow mark for no reason. And I was telling Angie the other day that I think there's probably somebody watching my videos due to the whole Fresh and Fit fiasco. You know, when they had the whole thing where they were trying to strike different channels and everything. I didn't get struck, but I did notice that whenever you use Fresh and Fit, they gave you yellow marks. And, you know, I had a lot of Fresh and Fit videos to cover that whole fiasco, and they yellow marked all of them, even if they weren't even anything bad. No matter what I put out after that point was yellow marks, yellow marks, yellow marks. Even if I changed the titles, changed the pictures, I don't curse, I bleep out all the curse words the other people are saying, I'm still getting yellow marks. But this guy here is saying he's having yellow marks and age restriction issues. He actually gives an example right here.
This is the situation. August 18th, I uploaded The Mortuary Assistant. A lot of you would know it got age restricted because the following video I did, I let you guys know it got age restricted. YouTube didn't tell me why. I saw that all these other YouTubers were playing The Mortuary Assistant and only my video seemed to be age restricted. And I looked for like an hour, 2 hours. I was scrolling all different types of people's video. No one else's was age restricted.
I had the exact same thing happen to me just the other day, and it had me in my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys remember the video of the Spirit Airlines flight, I got it age restricted. Shout out to G.O. Will for pointing that out. He pointed it out, and then he said he went on another guy's page, a lame guy by the name of Officer Tatum, and his was not age restricted. Another guy, Killer 240, also was like, hey man, yours got age restricted. Why? And I don't know why. I went and looked through everybody's different videos who had it. Nobody's got it age restricted. Nobody else's was, I don't know if it was copyright claimed because they won't tell you that, but mine's got both copyright claimed and age restricted for some odd reason. As soon as I put it out, I couldn't figure out why, because everybody and their mom had the same video out. I thought I had a good conversation and some good talking points about it. I didn't say anything too crazy. I don't know what happened. And along with age restriction normally comes ad suitability. And not only is ad suitability bad because you don't get any type of, I guess, ads put on your video, obviously. You don't get pushed in the algorithm. But the worst thing is you have to get it reviewed by a human content creator or a human reviewer. And it normally takes them 2 days. So if you had a video that maybe it got a nice chunk of views because it was a current issue that everybody wanted to see, by the time this person comes around to reviewing your content, and maybe they give you a green, you've missed out on all the ads and all the views and all the money that you would have reeled in from that. And then also, even if it's not one that's a big issue or something like that, the views that it could have gotten if it was just a regular added video are now gone because they're not going to push the ad suitability video in the algorithm. So you're just dead, bro. You're just dead in the water, bro. So I don't really understand how folks are making money, and I'm wondering, like, is everyone going through the same thing with automatic ad suitability no matter what you put, or what? Because I'm wondering, how are these big content creators making any money if you're covering the same current events that I cover, but you're having ad suitability? What's the point of doing it? Is YouTube just a sham, or is it like they're trying to cut people out of making money so they won't want to do it? Or they trying to discourage young people so they don't have to put out no more money? I don't understand it. But let's go.
Actually, number one, was it automated or was it a human that age restricted it in the first place? Number two, who was the human reviewer? Because it's a human reviewer once you submit an appeal. Who was the human reviewer that doubled down and rejected my appeal? Number three, why did it take Markiplier's clip in order for them to reverse the decision?
So these are some pretty valid questions, and I'm wondering the same thing. One, was initial restriction automated or human reviewed? And I wondered the same thing because, like I said, no matter what I put out, I automatically get ad suitability, and it sucks. And I think it came from the whole Fresh and Fit fiasco. Like I said earlier, I don't know if it's because I said some things that were out the way of the regular narrative that they want to spin on the YouTube, or was it simply because I had Fresh and Fit's name in there in a few videos, and now they're like, oh, you goddamn, if you're using Fresh and Fit, you peddling some madness, so we can't do that. And then I'm wondering, so how's Fresh and Fit making money? Are they just strictly super chatting it out here in these streets, or, you know, using courses and Patreon? How are they making money? But I wonder that, like, you know, is it automated, or is there a human that's sitting there like, ha, yeah, well, I see Grinder Motivate uploading, let's get them, ha. And then number two, who was the human reviewer that rejected my appeal and why? I think that's a very valid question. If you have somebody who has biased views about a certain topic that you put out, how is that fair? How is it also fair if you have somebody who has biased views for the topic that you put out? So, I mean, it's just a silly system. And then you have to also think that a certain guy, like let's think that, you know, me as a black dude, I'm going to have different views on life than obviously a white dude or an Asian dude or a Mexican dude or any other kind of guy. I'm going to have different views. So when I say certain things, you know, these may be guys that will just sweep them under the rug or feel like they're nothing, just brush them to the side because they're nothing. They have a whole different outlook on life. So, you know, just how is that fair? If I'm talking about a police brutality situation and you have a white dude who is probably a January 6th type of guy, and he happens to be reviewing YouTube videos, how is that going to go? How is that going to be in my benefit? And when I was saying the same thing, like, what if, you know, it's a situation where a guy is too biased for your rhetoric? Like, say, you know, you've got a guy who's spewing some Dove-esque talking points, and now he's just letting that go. There are a lot of hateful people on YouTube that I think, quite frankly, shouldn't be there, but they're there. So you just have to kind of wonder about the system and even the algorithm. If the algorithm is not made by somebody who's like the purest of heart, like a comic book or something like that, then you got to think the algorithm is going to be pretty biased and play favorites on the things that it thinks are good and suitable for ads. But that's just my thoughts, so let's go.
And YouTube does this like corny thing, or they have like black voices. And I've sent, because my YouTube rep have sent me the link, oh, you know, apply for black voices and stuff.
And I agree with him right there. That thing is corny as I don't know what. But then I also think, man, I'm thinking real conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat. What if they, you know, because I remember when I first got on YouTube, they was like, man, put in you a black YouTuber or something like that, and you'll get them views and they'll start bringing you to the algorithm or something like that. What if it was just all a way for them to pinpoint black YouTubers, and then they can go in and they can play with their channel and they can demonetize them and they can have them out here looking bad? What if that was what the whole thing was about?
Looks like those YouTube black creators are coming in to get their algorithm pushed. I look forward to doing it.
Wait right there, boy. All limited ads for all them Negroes now. Don't you?
But I thought here in YouTube we cared about black voices.
That's just something we do to seem inclusive. You know those blacks like handouts, but Sue ain't trying to really give them none. So you know, Sue. You know Sue. Well, Mama Jagar Wachowski. Now show me that list. Run that list, boy.
Well, I've got Officer Tatum New.
Oh no, I like his talking points. Keep him monetized. Back the blue.
I've got Anthony Brian Logan.
Oh yeah, he talked about how the KKK actually helped his mama.
Blacklight Revelations. This here is about a. Oh, I saw that one. Actually, this cop's pretty bad. He pulled the gun out, beat them while they're in cuffs, and then he came and took the girl back to the back of the bushes and raped her.
That's all just hearsay. You know them BLM folks, they just like to just garner pity.
But I mean, he has a good case here.
I don't care he has a good case. I had suitability now.
You got Torian Rain right here.
I'm watching him closely. I'm ready to strike him down one day.
Trying to motivate.
Don't even, just demonetize.
Videos, tutorials, and reviews.
He's a good boy. He knows his place, and plus he kind of talks about them black women, so I like him.
What about Fresh and Fit? They say some pretty stupid stuff all the time. We just banned Andrew Tate.
Son, don't you ever come to me with that unjustifiable mess again. Myron's not even a black guy. He's an Arabian, and he's a Fed. He's a former Fed. How can I not like him?
I guess this is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought I'd be, this is different. Okay.
I've never applied for it. It's basically a grant that you get a certain amount of money, help you produce videos, etc., etc. I've sent it to other creators who are a little bit small, who don't have a partner. I'm like, you guys might want to jump on this. It'll help you guys get some cash and stuff. The reason why is I know, one, I probably won't get accepted, okay? And two, YouTube wants minorities, but they don't want you to be outside of what their box is. You get what I'm trying to say? They want to, like, include black folks in a lot of ways, but if you talk a certain way, you use certain words, they start to look at you funny. I have times where YouTube is talking about, oh, we want to make sure we're supporting minorities through these difficult times and blah blah blah. Every video that we ever did on any police interaction, crazy footage or not, and most of the time we didn't even put any crazy footage in, age restricted, demonetized, couldn't be viewed. So even the stuff that we do want to talk about that affects your community, YouTube like goes out of their way to make sure that shit not possible. Meanwhile, I got a bunch of white political commentators who can say anything about any topic and these shit always pass.
And I do really agree with what he said right there. I think they do want black content creators and they want that diversity to make their numbers look good and, you know, their platform look good. But there comes a price with it. As a black person, they expect you to shut the hell up and be blue-pilled about racial situations or issues that might plague your community. Because if you think about anybody who talks about those things, they don't get pushed out as much. And then you think about guys who maybe talk about specific things or they just act like nothing is happening. They're pretty much blue-pilled towards race. Think about all your black content creators that maybe have 1 million subs. Have you ever really heard them talk about anything racial? And when they do, they don't really get into the nitty-gritty of the issue. They just kind of just like are playing around. Gideon, Kai Cenat, what's the dude's name? Pastor Don. He's slick as Sly Cooper on a low. But you got to think about it. Those guys don't say anything about it, and that's why they're pushing to the algorithm. So I think that when it comes to YouTube and you being a black man, you can make it, but you can't talk about anything real that plights your community. And I think that that's stupid and that sucks, and that makes YouTube kind of whack in a way. And I think they need to improve that. But who knows if they will improve it. And it also makes you wonder, is it really just YouTube, or is it the fact that the audience doesn't want to hear about that kind of stuff? Because if you think about whose channels are, you know, mostly popping out here in these streets, it's the blue-pilled black guys. And it's the guys who maybe are very biased towards, you know, a white man's viewpoint. Think about a Officer Tatum. How does he have 1 million subs? He sucks. He's not that smart, it seems. He's just a fat cop. And they like that. And he talks everything against black people. So he's pushed. He's got 1 million subs. Anthony Brian Logan, they love him. There's a bunch of guys. Think about all those guys, and it makes you wonder, is it just YouTube being racist, or is it the fact that, you know, maybe we have a racist society, a little bit more racist than we like to admit in these streets? But let's go. Let me know what you think.
Me on the outside looking in, this is what I think. It's not my platform. I'm going to take from this what I can get. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to piss and moan. I'm not going to cry. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Listen, I've seen enough of this shit my whole fucking entire life. Let me get mine and keep it pushing. Demanding people who have way more power, way more money than me to change for me, waste of fucking time.
What do you guys think about what he said right there? Is that real, or is that kind of a little George Clooney on the low? It's like, yeah, I'll get mine, so it don't really matter if the system bad. Who cares? What do you guys think about it? Do you think that it's a little selfish, or do you think, hey man, you got to do what you got to do to get your money in these streets, and maybe he can impact everybody's life in a different way? I don't know. And I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the issue with us as black people, no matter where you're from. You from Africa, you got all them folks up there that's corrupt in the government. They like, oh, I'm getting mine, so who cares if my people starve? You got Abba and Preach up there, what they just said in Canada. You got black Americans here. They done made it out of being a rapper. Now they telling you pull it up by your bootstraps, and you got lucky being a rapper or a football player, 1 in a million. And now you know, so you don't really care about the system. How do you guys feel about that kind of stuff? And how do you think that, I guess, black people can start getting more respect in these streets? I mean, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a bunch of white folks like, oh man, if you guys stopped killing people in all in Chicago and all that kind of stuff, you'd get shut up, bro. Shut the hell up, because that ain't all us. So what are you talking about? There's a whole bunch of regular, hard-working black folks out here. How do we get the rights that we deserve and the leverage that we deserve? Yeah, we have the rights and everything on paper, but there's still little small things that kind of affect you as a black dude. It's not like overt racism where it's all in your face, but we can see that thing happening, bro. So now we'll go ahead and close it out with Corey. And sorry if the video is going on a little bit long, but hey man, you can either go on, exit on out of that, or keep watching. Let's go.
Nothing ever happens until I come back and I start uploading again, and I'm getting my numbers, they're climbing, they're exploding, I'm #1 trending, and then they're like, hey, we need to stop him. We need to, this black man, he's getting too many views, he's getting too much exposure, too much activity. Hold that thought. Let's get back to the current situation. So my YouTube rep assures me he's gonna continue this dialogue with the policy team and try to get some answers to those 3 questions that I had. So another day, another 2 days go by, and what do you know? They re-age restricted the video. They re-age restricted the video. I say, no way did they do that. I go to Markiplier's video now, and now his video is age restricted. They got caught with their pants down. They got called out, and then they had to go back and say, oh, whoa, okay, we see the narrative that he's kind of pushing here. We need to take some steps back. We need to just age restrict them both and be done with it. You thought that I wasn't gonna like talk about this, make a video about it? You realize how bad this...
It looks terrible, but let's go.
Now I realize that when you call someone a racist, that's a very, very serious accusation. And for that matter, how do you expressly prove that someone is a racist? I mean, unless they're spamming the N-word in the chat. How do you really know? And admittedly, I cannot 100% prove that race had everything to do with this. But I can tell you the people on that policy team, those shadow people that are anonymous and get to enact their will however they see fit. How can we be sure that they take a black person's video and a white person's video, and it can be the same exact video, and they restrict the black person's video but not the white person's video? I feel I've been mistreated for a long time. I mean, even when we hit 10 million subscribers.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that first part. I don't like labeling folks a racist or anything wrong just cause, man. I gotta have some real proof in these streets, and I know everybody's just not automatically racist out here in these streets. But at the same time, he was saying it's like, you ain't racist, but it's like, I ain't saying you racist, but you looking kind of racist in these streets, because he's saying, you know, he takes long hiatuses off of YouTube, sometimes even 9 months at a time. And, you know, he gets no type of warnings or any copyright claims or guideline strikes during that time. But as soon as he comes back, you know, maybe he's picking up a little steam on his channel, getting those numbers up. Then they come in with the strikes. They come in with the ad suitabilities. They come in with all that kind of stuff. So it's not looking good. What do you guys think? Let's go.
I believe there is some racism involved within the policy team. And YouTube in general really doesn't care about black people like that. They got their favorite creators. You know, log out of YouTube. Log out and go to YouTube. You'll see the people on the front page every single day. You'll see the favorites. Count how many are black.
So yeah, what do you guys think about what he said right there, and you know, some of the things that I said throughout the video? Do you think that YouTube is indeed racist and they don't really care about black folks? Or do you think it's more so them playing favorites? Neither of which is good at all. But what do you think? Is he just whining, or is there some truth to it? I would say that there's probably some truth to it. Obviously, as a person who's also black and does some YouTube, I feel like I see these exact same things on a smaller scale. Obviously, I don't know how to get past it. If anybody knows how to get past the automatic ad suitability monster, go ahead and let your boy know. Hit your boy up in the DM or something, man. Let me know. But yeah, man, I think that there were some interesting points and some exposure to YouTube on this video, man. And I think that in the world, obviously, there's not like overt racism anymore, but there's always subtle things. Like, this is one of those subtle things. Yeah, you're a black content creator, so yeah, you got the sauce and all that kind of stuff, but we don't really want to see you live and strive and make that money. So we're going to do whatever we can to block you in little bitty ways. Also, what do you guys think about the different reviewers and the system that YouTube has? Do you think that it's way too biased and it should be improved? Because like I said earlier, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I think if a guy who has nothing to do with everybody's different type of thoughts and is pure of heart is creating the algorithm, then how could it be fair? Also, if you have people that are reviewing your videos who are biased against what you say or biased for what you say, and it might not be a good thing, how is that fair? How can we improve the system? I think they should start going ahead and letting us know who reviewed them, so we can go and look them up on Instagram and give them a taste of our mind. I would like that a lot, man, because some of these folks, man, they're so goddamn lame that the things that they gave me yellow marks on and all that, and ad suitabilities and goddamn age restrictions and all that. I don't know, man. This video, like, this situation kind of frustrates me in a way because I'm going through it actively. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think, man. If you watched up to this point, thanks for watching. Also, go ahead and like the video so I can beat the algorithm, because if y'all have been noticing, I've been saying that a lot lately, because I'm trying to beat the algorithm because these folks is lame as hell and they be trying to stop the kid, man. They trying to stop me. But yeah, man, if you support the kid, go on ahead and like the video, and of course leave your comments down. Love to hear what y'all have to say. Hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next time.